What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. We're out here at MA-Motorsports here to check out the car and all the progress that's being made on it. I was actually here about 2 weeks ago and I filmed another video. I just didn't really like how it was coming out, so I figured I'd come back out. And there's even more progress done since the last time I've been here, so super hyped about that. And we'll show you guys what's going on with the chassis and show you some really cool parts that are being bolted up and worked on. So let's get it. Got my boy Jeremy here with me. Say what's up. What's up? I wanted a partner in crime driving down today, so we did things. Yeah, we killed it. So thank you, quarantine. Yeah, thank you, quarantine. All right, let's go check out the car. So I got to see the car about 2 weeks ago and it looks really good, but you guys haven't seen anything because I haven't done any videos, so I'm definitely going to show you a lot around the car and all the stuff that's been added, all the stuff that's been painted, all the new parts, and we'll check it out. So here it is. So right off the bat, you can see that the chassis is no longer red, and it is this gorgeous gloss black that was done by Josh Kroll over at Kroll's Customs, along with this really awesome steel it gray color on the whole chassis, so you can see it in the wheel wells and everything. So this paint is actually really cool because if you have, let's look over here. So you see, if this will focus for a second, let's say we had a crack on this weld here. This paint actually has stainless steel in the paint. So if, let's say we cracked this and we needed to repair it on the fly, we could weld directly over this paint without a problem. So that's really cool. Not to mention, this bar right here was actually painted by a spray can when the chassis was painted by a professional spray gun. So as you can tell, the color matches really well. So if we ever have to fix something or weld something else to the chassis and then color match it, it's really easy. We get it out of the can, and Brian is also a dealer for them, so it's really awesome because it's really easy to get. But yeah, really nice color combination. I really enjoy it. And it looks really good in the interior as well. Probably be better on the other side with the lighting, but. So right off the bat, you can see our CNR radiator on here, all bolted up, ready to go. Brian went ahead and made this custom fan shroud. Since we were dealing with tight space in the back here, because we have the sway bar that comes through the back here, along with the batteries, everything like that. So it was definitely tight. So this is like a very, it's not a very tall shroud, but it came out really good. and it fit these spall fans really well, so it came out awesome. Also, you can see the amount of air that's going to be coming through here feeding this radiator, and the fans do most of the job anyway, pulling all that air, so it's really good. So right here you can see our new fuel safe fuel cell, and it's got the Radium FCST. This is their updated version compared to what we had in the car last year. They redid the power hookup, made it a lot more simple, really cool. And also you can put up to 3 feed pumps in this tank, and with the old setup you could do the same, but there was 3 fittings for each. There was a fitting for each pump, so you'd have 3 fittings if you were running 3 pumps. Now you can run all 3 pumps and they come out of 1 fitting. This is 1-8 fitting right here, and then that looks like a -6 for a return. Usually we had -8 feed and return, but whatever Brian wants to do, that's what we'll have. Also here you can see the new filling setup for the fuel cell that Brian whipped up. We've got some supports for our sweet little fill station here. Just a nice little aluminum cap that threads right out. And then we obviously the clear tube so we can see the fuel that's being put in, just in case we overflowed, anything like that. So it's really cool. Also, we have our radium expansion tank here. This is a really cool part. I had this on the S13 last year. This is a new one that we got for this car. This will just pretty much be plumbed to the radiator from here to here. So this will be basically our fill for the radiator. And you know, it just basically, it's exactly the name. It's an expansion tank, more fluid in here. There's actually there's a swirl pod in here as well, so that's really cool. And then we'll probably have a line going to an overflow just in case, because we probably need that for FD rules. But yeah, this is really cool. Glad to have another one of these on here. They just welded a bracket to the strut tower just so we can mount that. And you could also see the plumbing for our fire suppression system here. Shane went ahead and whipped that up and did a phenomenal job bending all these lines. It's so hard to get this done, but this is actually our OMP fire suppression system. I'll walk over here and show you. So yeah, that's our OMP fire suppression system. I ran the same one last year, but thanks to OMP this year, they're partnering with us, and we'll have a bunch of cool stuff like this fire suppression system that I love, and also our favorite HCER 400 seats. So I'll have 2 of those seats in here, along with OMP belts, OMP racing suit, steering wheel, gloves, all the good stuff. So once we have more OMP parts to put in the car, obviously I'll show you guys that in the next video, but I do want to say thank you to OMP for helping us out this year and working with us. Super happy to have you guys on board, and really looking forward to staying safe in the car this year. And that's how good it was last year, so we're glad to keep it that way and stay safe. Really quick before we get into anything else, this is our firewall because we need to be separated from the fuel cell. But Brian went ahead and had one of his buddies. I'll drop a name at the bottom here just because I don't know it off the top of my head. But he went ahead and had both of our logos put on this. So we got the MA logo and the Power Racing logo. And if you put them together, it's Max Power. MAX Power. But it looks so cool. This is all bead rolled. Really nice work, top notch. And it accents all the rest of the bead rolled stuff back here that we have. It looks so good. And that's gonna get sprayed into steel gray as well, so it'll match with the whole chassis. Staying in the back here, you can see our awesome little NACA duct for a really cool product that we're super hyped to run this year. This is called the Chill Out system. For any of you that are big into competition racing or any type of road racing, anything like that, you may know of what's called a cool suit. So that's like you have a cooler in the car with a pump and you fill it up with ice water and it circulates through your suit, keeping you cool. All right, so this is like that, but only better. Because the reason why I say it's better is because instead of you filling up a cooler that's super heavy with ice and a bunch of water, Chill Out system has their own coolant that goes into the system and circulates and has its own AC unit. So it chills its own coolant that circulates through the whole system, and you never have to change it unless you want to change it and service it. But you never have to change it after a race. It's always ready to go, and it gets very cold, which is awesome. You can check out the box here. And also something that's really cool about this is that it is literally half the size, maybe a quarter the size of a normal cool suit box. So this is the unit. You can see we have the control panel right here. It's a little dusty just from being in the car. This is our intake plenum. This is all carbon fiber, so it's super lightweight. This system itself is very lightweight as well. So we'll have the plenum here with the NACA duct coming out of our window with a line connecting them with a little fan. So we're going to be feeding air into the system, get nice and cold, and then these are where the 2 lines hook up from my suit, and it's going to be plumbing that nice, fresh, cold coolant that they supply. But it's really cool because we're going to have a controller hooked up that's going to be in line and up here next to our keypad so that we can control how cold we want it to be and, you know, turn it on and off when we need it. So it's super cool. Chill Out System is working with us this year, so we're super hyped to be working with them. And I've also never had a cool suit or any system like this, so I'm really looking forward to giving it a try and, you know, just staying cool in the race car, waiting on line, waiting on grid, waiting to go out, and not to mention driving, just being super comfortable in the car and just enjoying every second of being in the driver's seat. So thank you, Chill Out Systems, I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to try out this product. We got our window back in. I remember I shot a video where I talked about this design, but I didn't actually show you guys. But this is the cool little design where we hit this button and she pops out, opens up, and that helps us get to our nitrous bottle. Our sweet nitrous express nitrous bottle. But yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things about the car. But you can see our bottle right back there. Really easy to get to. It'll be easy to swap it out of the track. Moving to the inside of the car, you can see a lot of awesome stuff that's been getting done. We just talked about all this stuff over here. But you can see a lot of line work has been going on in here. And another fitting from the fire suppression system. But the big one is these floor mounted pedal box with all these crazy lines. So I'll try and make sure the light's good, but Brian went ahead and made all these soft lines for the feed from all the master cylinders to where they're going to go throughout the car, and also made these soft lines from the master cylinder reservoir, so that will feed all of our master cylinders here. But he had to make sure they were a good length because, as you can see right there, these pedals are adjustable forward and back to make sure that it's comfortable with how I'm sitting in the car. So obviously everyone likes to run hard lines, but being that this has to be able to move, had to do soft lines. Brian actually made a video going over this whole thing, so if you want to see more about it, check his YouTube channel, MA-Motorsports, and you could see all this and he explains it in great detail. But he made a really cool bulkhead here, so all the soft lines go to this, and then that's where it starts being all the hard lines. And these hard lines go all the way throughout the car and all to all the brakes and the clutch and everything like that. But that is looking really awesome. We got our Woodward steering column in, our awesome monster service carbon fiber S15 dash that's left-hand drive. This is super cool because it still looks like factory shape, but it's carbon and it's left-hand, so that's really cool. We got our HGK Hydro e-brake lever in here. Obviously HGK kills it with the quality of all the stuff that they make. I've always liked this handbrake and I've always wanted one, so now I'm happy that I finally got one. It's very cool piece, if the camera will focus on it. But yeah, along with our new hydro from HGK, you can see our Andrews transmission with the transmission tunnel open. I believe it's open just because Brian is doing some plumbing. You can see the lines back there if it's not too dark for you. We decided to stick with this transmission just because we love it so much. And since we stuck with this transmission, we had to add a shifter extension to push it back, because we'll be sitting as far back in the car as possible for better weight distribution. So yeah, we had to set the transmission back, and there might be a little extension back on the shifter as well, just so we can get it perfect. But yeah, the interior is looking really good. Brian added a spot for our keypad for starting up the car and everything like that. Nice and out of the way, never gonna hit it on accident, so that's really cool. We have our HTR 400 seat that I was talking about before, and our old OMP steering wheel. We're gonna get another one of these before the season starts. The interior of the car is looking really good. I love this steel gray color, and all the components are fitting nice in there. They're looking top notch. The attention to detail is crazy, and I can't wait to just sit in the thing and drive it, to be completely honest with you. But let's go ahead and move up to the front of the car and check out what we got going on there. Last time I was here, I got some clips of the bash bar that was made by Ryan out here. So I'll put a clip in here right now so you can see the bash bar, and then we'll go into the engine and stuff like that right now. So as you can see, the front support, basically the front main hoop of the chassis is gone and the bash bar is off. They just took it off to get it ready for paint. It's actually, the bash bar is up there, and I'm pretty sure this is over on that table back there. So right off the bat, you can see our awesome HGK motor plate, all that built aluminum goodness right on the front of the motor. Along with that, you can see our daily dry sump pump with our Powerhouse Racing dry sump pan. So this is all Powerhouse Racing system. We were lucky enough to get hooked up with this thanks to Quickstyle Motorsports and Matt Predmore over there. So we're super hyped to be running this kit, protecting the investment of the motor. Matt over at Quickstyle also helped us out huge by getting this motor built by Titan Motorsports down in Florida. This is a 9-to-1 compression with CP pistons, mainly Turbo Tough I-beam rods, polished and balanced crank, and billet main caps to top it all off. So this motor is definitely going to be able to handle a lot more power than what we had last year. We don't really think we're going to be throwing much more power. It'll probably be anywhere in the 700 to 800. This motor is definitely built for it, and super excited to put it through its ropes and, you know, give it to B-Town. But definitely big shout out to Titan Motorsports, Powerhouse Racing, Daily Engineering, and Quickstyle Motorsports for making sure that we could get all this stuff on the car. So thank you very much, Matt. Right now there's no head on the motor because we shipped that out to Head Games in New Jersey. The head is actually here. It just got here yesterday, so we'll probably go and check that out. But Brian went ahead and got some plumbing done for the dry sump system while the head was off, because it's a lot easier to do without the big intake manifold here. Also, he went ahead and got our power steering reservoir and started lining all that up. And speaking of power steering, this is actually really cool. We ran a KRC power steering pump in the front last year, but considering we have the dry sump pump sitting where our KRC used to sit, but we had a little adapter added to the dry sump pump, and you can see right there is our power steering pump on the back of the dry sump pump. So this is really cool for packaging and stuff like that. We think it's going to take a little bit to get adjusted and have it feel the same as the car did last year, but really excited to try it out. Also, we added the power steering bypass valve just to keep everything safe and make sure that we're not overdoing the pump. Really looking for longevity and making sure all the parts and everything like that stays good. Also, we have a spare power steering pump if need be. It was the one that I ran last year. I had it sent out, just had it serviced and sent back with an extra pump. So now we have two pumps, one old but new and one brand new one. So yeah, that should be good to go. So another addition you can see right here is our front bash bar that Brian's putting a lot of work into. This is super cool because it's in a really easy place to get to if we ever want to change the rate of the bar. Right now Brian's focusing on getting these arms made. These start out as a straight steel arm that he cuts and bends to get it to fit and clear all of the crazy stuff, like our big tire that will have almost 60 degrees of angle. He actually went ahead and lined them up by taking some material out. This is just a hard cut for now. He says he's going to smooth it out and then paint them, and then all these will, if I could get it to focus. But you can see all the bends and where it's broke, that will all be welded up. And you can see he went ahead and added a plate to the wide fab control arm so that we can bolt our arm in between, our linkage in between the arm and the suspension. So that's pretty much how that will work. This will travel, connected with this, will travel this, and that's where you get the bar. Right now he has it jacked up to get some stroke out of it. You see our Fuel 442 coilovers chilling in there. No spring on it, just so it's easy to check the stroke and jack it up without jacking up the car. Now I'd like to take the time to go over some parts that we're running this year thanks to our awesome partners. Super excited, so let's check out what we got and what's gonna go on the car for this year. This is our brand new G35 900 turbo from Garrett. This is new to their G series. It's very similar to the turbo that we ran last year, which is the Garrett GTX 3584 RS Gen 2. So this will be replacing that turbo. And also we went ahead and grabbed two hot sides. This would be the 83 hot side, and this is a 101. We got two to see which one we like better for the setup, just because we want to see what type of response we're getting, what type of boosts we're getting, you know, torque curve, things like that. So we got both of these. They're going to be tapped so that we can put a back pressure sensor on both of these so we could run them. And we will also be running a speed sensor on this, so very cool. We were lucky enough to get this through Motorsports, so huge thanks goes to Matt over there. And if you're looking to get one of these awesome turbos for yourself, I suggest heading over to quickstylemotorsports.com and getting you some. We're definitely really excited to get this on that. Also, something really cool about this turbo is that it is now all V-band. So if we just want to swap out one of these, it's just one V-band clamp and then we're good to go. Also, this year we'll be running V-band clamp on the Manifold. So it'll be super easy to get the turbo on and off if need be. Very hyped on that. And I'll be showing you guys the Manifold we'll be running shortly. So moving on, I am super excited to say that we're now working with TurboSmart for the 2020 season. And they hooked us up big with all their latest products that we needed for the 2JZ. We got some really good stuff, not to mention some really innovative stuff at the same time. This is the PowerGate 60. This is a 60mm wastegate that we got. It is awesome. Last year we ran twin wastegates. Now we decided to just we ran twin 44mm. Now we decided to go with a single 60mm. We think it will definitely do its job. This is actually this is the fastest actuating wastegate on the market and the fastest flowing on the market. So this will definitely get the job done. And just to make sure that we're checking up on it, we have a positioning sensor on the top so we can get all the data that we need on this and make sure it is working top notch, which we know it will. Moving down the line. So this is our raise port blow off valve that we got from them as well. Same goes for the sensor cap with the positioning sensor on it, so we can keep an eye on how it's doing and collect data on how it's working. This can actually support 1500 horsepower on its own. So each can support 1500 horsepower, which is insane. So this is really awesome. We ran one of these on the car last year and it worked out amazing. Super happy to have another one for the new build this year. Last but certainly not least is the fuel pressure regulator, the FPR 2000. This is an awesome fuel pressure regulator with -8 ports for your fuel lines, and you can also put whatever size AN fitting with it as long as you have that -8 inlet. But this is really awesome because it has their industry leading 1-to-1 ratio. So what this means is if I go ahead and add 1 pound of boost to the turbo on the car, this will equally add 1 pound of boost to the fuel. So that is really awesome, and it keeps everything very linear and make sure and it keeps our motor nice and happy with all the fuel that it needs. No starvation, everything will be good to go. So we're super excited to be working with TurboSmart this year, and I can't say thank you enough to Rich Anderson over at TurboSmart. Awesome dude. We met over at SEMA this year, and we talked a lot about the car and all the stuff that we were planning on doing, and he hooked us up big time this year. We're super fortunate to have this stuff and very excited to put it to the test, not to mention collect data on all the products that will be on the car for this year. So thanks again, TurboSmart, and thank you again, Rich. You're the man, and yeah, like I said, very excited to get these on the car. But let's check out what we're going to be bolting this thing to. So this is our brand new future fabrication manifold that'll be going on the 2JZ. I spoke with John over at Future Fab and told him exactly what we wanted, and that's exactly what we got. This thing is a work of art. He a little bit different from the one we ran last year. He's got this awesome CNC flange for the 2JZ, and as you can see, we have the bungs here on each runner because we're going to be running EGTs this year to individually monitor each runner for each cylinder. And you can see our V-band flange for the turbo and for the wastegate. So we'll have our 60 mil wastegate on here and our new Garrett G35 turbo right on here. So if we ever need to swap out the turbo or swap the hot side, it'll be super easy to get this off and super easy to get the wastegate off as well. So this is a really awesome addition for the 2JZ this year, and I'm super excited to get on the car. This should be on the car next week, just because we got the head, and that'll probably be bolted up on Monday. So yeah, just want to say thank you to John over at Future Fab for killing it on this piece and giving us a sweet deal on it. Can't wait to hear the sweet noises that are going to be coming out of this. So if you follow me on Instagram at Mike Power Drift, you would have seen that I posted we'll be working with Tron Australia this year and running their products on our 2JZ. So I figured I'd take the time to show you guys what we'll be using. Right off the bat, you can see some sweet stickers that they gave us, and these are the individual EGT sensors that will be going in each runner of the 2JZ manifold. Also, we have here our ECU mount. This is a nice aluminum billet bracket. And let's open these boxes and see what we got inside. So once we open these boxes, you'll see the M-Tron KV8 ECU. Super excited to get this thing on the car and use it for all of its tunable abilities. This M-Tron ECU has honestly anything that you could ever want to come from an ECU. And at the best part of that is everything comes available right out the box. So no add-ons, no need to get anything else to run this ECU. This thing is ready to go out of the box, ready to do whatever it was built to do for you. So that is super awesome. I can't wait for me and Cleo to get into this thing and start tuning with it and see what it's capable of. So super hyped on that. And this is our ETC8M. This is a EGT control module. So all of our EGT sensors will be in line with this, and then this will be hooked up through our wiring harness, and we'll get all the readings that we need from the EGTs to this to data log them and see them up on the heads-up display. So really nice quality part, all billet aluminum. Same goes for the ECU, billet aluminum case. Really awesome stuff. Can't wait to get it on the car and try it out. So super excited to have the M-Tron ECU on the car this year. Can't wait to get in there to start tuning in, seeing what it's all capable of. But quickly, I just want to say big thank you to Ben and all the guys over at M-Tron Australia for helping us out this year, and I'm really looking forward to kicking ass with this ECU and all the parts. Thanks guys. We got our brand new serviced head here back from Head Games. I'm not going to take it out of the box just because they're going to be putting it on the motor next week, so I don't really want to unpack it for them right now. But this is super awesome. Got all new valve train, all new springs, retainers, shimless buckets, pocket port job. A lot of awesome stuff that's going to make it really strong and for us to be able to throw a lot of power at it. So super excited. Big thanks over to the guys at Head Games for knocking this out really fast for us. Now we can get this head on the motor and knock out some fabrication. Throw the turbo on there, throw the intercooler in there, and the manifolds, get everything all lined up so we can start plumbing everything and getting the exhaust done and all the intercooler piping. So that's really awesome. Moving on here, we are super pumped to say that we're working with Woodwood Brakes this year, and they've hooked us up with an awesome amount of goods. We got their 6-piston front brakes for the front and their 4-piston rear brakes for the rear. We'll be running 4 of these in the rear and 2 of these up front, along with their signature hats and thin slotted rotors that we actually ran last year. So the only difference is we're actually just switching up to a 6-piston front. So here you can see the Woodwoods that we ran last year. Very similar setup with the thin rotor and then the 4-piston calipers. But yeah, now we're just going to be using a nice anodized finished ones. These are really awesome. They last all year. I've never had a single problem with them. And also the pads I had on these actually lasted really well too. We also got a really large selection of pads from Willwood. So we'll be able to test which ones we like the most. I'm sure we're gonna have an aggressive pad for the caliper on the handbrake, maybe a little bit of a less aggressive one on the foot brake for the rear, and then probably a mildly aggressive one in the front as well. But yeah, super excited to get these things on the car. These are the ones that we ran last year that are here for mock-up, but we're actually gonna be keeping these as spares for throughout the season just in case we need them. But yeah, super excited to get these new ones on the car. But I just want to say a quick thank you to Michael Scully over at Willwood Disc Brakes. Thanks for helping us out this year, and we're looking forward to working with you. So this is the billet dry sump pan from the Powerhouse Racing kit. This is super awesome because we were able to get the engine a little bit lower to the cross member or the front subframe, and we were able to actually push the motor back a little bit too. And then Brian went ahead and added our little cooler here. That's going to be a cooler for our power steering, and this is a little duct so that it catches air and shoves it up. It's a little tall, so it's going to be brought up just a little bit, just so we don't bash on the floor. But yeah, it looks really good. Going under the car, you can see that beautiful steel gray all over the place. This bottom of this car is so clean you can eat off of it. We got our brand new S15 rated bell housing on the transmission. Our transmission sitting in there all nice. Brian went ahead and had got this awesome transmission mount bracket all fabbed up, looking really good. Just needs some steel gray on it. And then we got our brand new drive shaft shop drive shaft. This is aluminum, 3.5 inch radius. And coming back, you can see our water pump back here. With our bulkhead right here, so super easy to plumb. Probably next time we come look at the car, all the water lines and stuff will be done now that we have the head here. You can see the bulkhead fitting here for the brake lines that Brian made. Again, Brian did do a video for this stuff, so if you want to check it out, go over to his YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below. But yeah, this stuff is looking really good, all bent up, super nice, easy to get to with these added little brackets so that the soft lines can go easily to those. There's a little T fitting on that one. Have our MA-Motorsports Winter's Quick Change, and it is all just looking so good back here. This is an awesome little addition that we added to the fuel system. This is actually our fuel filter. This is a removable canister with a micron steel mesh filter in it, so we could take it out and inspect it and clean it. Also has a nice little flow meter so that if there's anything getting built up in here, you'll see that it's slowing down the fuel passing through. There's also a check valve right here so we can get samples of the fuel, even though we don't really need it. Always good to have, and just a super cool part. So I'll probably be pumped up next time we see the car too. I just want to say a quick thanks to all you guys for watching, and I want to say a quick thanks to all the sponsors that are helping us out this year. We really appreciate it, and we have some really heavy hitters on our team this year, so definitely keep an eye on us because we're definitely going to be on the podium. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, definitely leave a like below and maybe a comment if you have any questions for me. And if you want to keep tabs on the car and what we're up to, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Right? Say bye. 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 Bye.